Welcome to the very first episode of Game Changer series. Conversation Beyond the Field, brought to you by Olympia Sportz Events. I'm your host Anuja, and I'm thrilled to kick off this journey with a truly inspiring athlete. Someone who is not only dominated on the court but continues to shape the game across borders. Our guest today is a name that shines bright in Europe basketball, Marta Canella. She's a European Under-20 champion, FIBA 3x3 Euro Championship gold medalist, and Spain's top basketball player. Marta has competed at the highest levels, represented her country with pride, and now brings her global experience to India, mentoring young athletes through the International Hoops Camp hosted by Olympia Sportz Events in collaboration with Vigor Group of Schools. In today's episode, we dive into Marta's journey as a professional athlete, her thoughts on mental strength and youth development, as well as women in sports. So whether you're a student, a parent, a coach, or someone who just loves the game, this conversation is going to be packed with insight and inspiration. Welcome, Marta, to our Game Changer series. We are so excited to have you here. And let's begin with what got you into basketball? Where did your journey start?
Well, namaste. Thank you for having me here. My journey started in school, actually, so I think it's like pretty good now that we are doing this with you, because it just started in school. I was playing soccer before, and they just asked us if we wanted to try to join for the team that we had in town, and I went with a couple of friends of school, and so my dad was playing. I kind of could like look up to him and relate a little bit more to him through basketball. So yeah, I started like going to the school and then working out in the garage of our place with my dad. That made me feel like more connected to basketball than I was to football. So yeah, that's how like I connected with basketball.
Okay, that's nice to know. And when and how did you realize that basketball for you is more than just passion, and that you can turn this into a career?
Well, like it grew slowly, step by step. First, of course, I was just a kid playing a sport. Then I realized I was feeling kind of like different to my colleagues in school, because I could see that I have a routine, that I have like goals, that I was doing something else with our life. Like, it's true that when we are kids, we are just supposed to study, to try to have a career one day, to have a job. But then I was starting to see that was giving me something else. I was still doing that kid job of studying, but I was starting to feel like more complete inside, like releasing all my energy, being more focused thanks to the sport. So then that just like kept growing until one day I was like 20-something, 25, and while I was working, I was still playing basketball, and then it's when I decided like, hey, let's just give it a shot now as a professional, because the year doesn't come back, and I don't think I'm gonna be doing this for too long, because the body will say stop at some moment. So that's when I said like, okay, let's do it professionally now.
How old were you when you first started playing basketball?
I think I was like 8 years old.
Okay, and then I believe your father played a very influential role in improving the sport.
Yeah, I mean, he was not a professional player or anything, but he just loved the game and loved me as a daughter. So then he was just playing with me, and I was like, can we work out? And we were working out on what we could do at home or in a park or something. So then I was going like to school, to the practices, and working with him a little, just because I wanted to improve and because I wanted to spend time with him. Then also with my older brother, 4 years older, so he was always like beating me and everything, but that's good, because then you have to improve to try to reach his level. So yeah, when I was a kid, like that was a very nice moment, and now a very nice memory. I don't think it changed me as a player. Maybe I was going to be the same player, but it was like beautiful to start sharing that with my family.
Was your brother also into any kind of sport?
He was playing football, so that's why I was playing football before. Like, I started football because I was seeing him, so I wanted to be like him and play football. So I was around, guys and football all the time. So when I started with basketball, I also was able to play with girls, with women. So that also helped a lot on the change of sport. Because, I was starting to feel not left out with the guys on football, but it's a different world, especially when you are such a kid. I think it's good that I could share both things and then decide which one I prefer. Yeah.
So, since you were playing football with men or males, and then when you got into basketball, you were competing, or maybe your teammates were females. So, do you think that also had, like, usually I've noticed, I've been an athlete myself. So, when you train with boys, the intensity is a little higher usually. So, did that have any effect on the way you started with the game or your level of playing?
Well, I actually have never thought about it before, but you're right that they are more intense, maybe more competitive.
Right.
Especially when we are kids, I think. So I think when I was with them, I had to be at their level. So when I just changed them to basketball with the girls, I was already coming from that level. I was like, I want intense, I want running, I want to win. I actually have never thought about it before, but it's true that now I realize it made me start maybe with another intention.
We already discussed the role your father played when you started with this sport. But apart from your father, any mentors or any coaches whose mentorship had a lasting impact?
I mean, as coaches, the coaches that I've had, they have always made a huge impact. I was very, very lucky because I think the ones I had in my hometown, they were great coaches, very well recognized in Spain, even in Europe. Where maybe that recognized, they were personally amazing to me. They, this other part of basketball or anything that you don't see that is behind the cameras, like how to get ready, how to get through the bad moments, especially how to read the game. So I had also very, very good coaches and very good people also with a great heart that helped me a lot there. I always get this question, and it's not that I can say, oh, she or he was my idol. No, honestly, I just like the game, and since I like the game, I watch a lot of basketball, so I was just always trying to pick something good from everybody. I like his shot, I like his dribble, I like his mentality or hers. And also, I try to learn about the bad things. Sometimes on TV or even on colleagues or whatever, you see things that you say hey, I wouldn't like to be seen like this, to get recognized like this. I saw some, let's say, disrespect to a teammate or, or to a referee, not to a teammate. That would be bad, that doesn't happen that much. But sometimes I think it's also good to learn from the things that you see that they are not that well. I think we always focus on just the good, my idol because that's this and that super well, but it's sometimes you also have to pay attention on the bad things if you don't want to take them with you.
Right. So when you were seeing certain things that you liked, would you then try and apply it on court or when you were playing basketball? I was, now I remember I was saying this, and then I was super fan of Allen Iverson, just an American point guard, very, very small. It's not that it's my style nowadays at all, but I don't know, I just remember I used to love his game, watch his film in YouTube, and then try to replicate. That's true that maybe now for my size and everything, I do some different stuff with the ball in my hands, so maybe that comes from the YouTube era of watching Iverson and some other NBA guys. That's great to know, Marta. And I want to know that as a young girl growing up in Spain and choosing sports as a career, did you at any point face any resistance or challenges that you came across?
Well, I think it's always been good. I thought never that I could have a career, a wealthy career. I was okay, I can play basketball, but at the same time, I thought when I was a kid that would lead me nowhere.
Okay.
And so on the way is when I started to realize, okay, maybe I'm not going to become rich because of basketball, but it's probably going to give me the life I want, the life I desire. the life I dream of for a couple years, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years of professional basketball, you know? Just like a low level of salaries and everything, but I think it has been improving and rising lately because of the job of everybody that has come behind us. So now I can say that it's not only that I can have like a regular normal life, but it's like I feel it's being worth it. It's like, wow, I wouldn't be changing doing my other regular job that I was supposed to do for the studies that I have, you know, like even like money-wise, I think it's even better. So, well, I think we are lucky. I think we can improve still. You see it in some other countries, but I think in every country there is room to improvement, yes.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but there is definitely a sense of fulfillment when you pursue your favorite sport as a career as well.
In those terms, yeah, I feel fulfilled, absolutely, because as I'm telling you, like, it's my passion, it's what I do, and I get to be professional at that when I not should be, but that's what I thought when I was younger, that I should dedicate my life to my studies. Was lucky enough to be able to do both. And so this way I can appreciate way more what I have right now, which is playing basketball. Yeah.
That's a great thought. And so in your family you have your father, your brother and your mom? Okay.
Correct.
And so what role did your family as a together play in your basketball journey? Like, I know that especially in the growing stages, the parents, they have to also dedicate some time to the athlete, especially when it comes to tournaments. They have to dedicate resources so that you're getting access to equipments and everything, or exposure, training. So
yeah, well, especially my parents, I have to thank them for being with me always along the way, because we have, of course, not always lived to next where I play, to the gym, and they have made like a lot of kilometers, a lot of hours, just to drive me to the practice or to the tournament itself, somewhere else, very far, and they have been waiting for me during that practice, maybe like for 4 hours, and so that's something I realize more about now, that it's like, wow, they have really spent hours and like maybe years, you know, because it's been a lot of time. Yeah, like I think that's the hardest part, because time doesn't go back. So they have given me that, and yeah, I really thank them for that. And then they have always been very supportive. It was like I knew I had to study. I knew I wanted to play basketball, and they were like, "Okay, you want to do both? You have to do both." Like, so up to both. You are not gonna say today to basketball yes, but tomorrow no, because I have an exam. So it's like, if you do both, do them well. So then I was like, okay, I gotta study, I gotta go well with my classes, so I don't miss anything of basketball.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that type of teammate, you know, that missing practices and everything. So I think they were like strict, but at the same time, it made sense. They just like let me do and manage as I could. Yeah.
So back when you were in school or when you were studying, what did your schedule look like? Balancing practice, I believe, was it 2 times a day?
Not really. Sometimes when I was older, maybe. But regularly would be like, I don't know, 8, 9. We will start school until 2:30 or 3.
Okay.
Go home, have lunch, get the homework done for like a couple hours, not more.
Okay.
Go to practice for, in total, coming back and everything, maybe like 4 or 5. And then come back home with my family, have dinner, and if I had to keep studying, keep doing something, do it during the night, and just go to sleep as soon as possible. Yeah, so that was like...
Ready for the next day.
Yeah, exactly, the mechanics. It was hard when I was like 18, you know, that we have to do this exam to try to make it to college then. And those years were harder, were like a year of less sleep. But yeah, well, I think it was worth it. And I didn't know any other way to do it, so it was normal for me.
And did you have a favorite subject back then?
Yeah, it was actually Spanish, like literature and language, let's say. Yeah, it was Spanish.
That's great. And was it a subject that you were not so fond of?
Yeah, and actually then I did nothing to do with Spanish. But I thought it was something just like about not even our culture, but like I wanted to have that background and everything, and to be able to, well, speak good, write good, read articles, understand them, and everything. So yeah, that was like a little bit of what it was about, and I still remember it with like well, with some love, I would say, for being a class. So yeah.
And you know, this is something that I've heard so much, and I've even experienced this, that when you're studying and if you're playing a sport as an athlete, the discipline that we follow as an athlete definitely reflects into the curriculum or when you're studying. So did you also feel that was your sport helping you study better?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and I could see it on my colleagues in school, that the ones that they were not playing any sport, they were not using the time wisely, like at all. Like then we would see each other after the weekend. The weekend I would have 2 games very far away from home and everything, and they would be like, "Oh, I didn't study anything for the exam," and I was like, "How's that possible? You've been all weekend at home, like you had time." And they were like, "No, how's possible that you studied?" I was like, "Well, I was in the bus or in the car with my parents studying and everything." So yeah, I think sometimes the less time or resources you have, the more wisely you use them. So yeah, I'm very happy that that happened to me in such an early stage, because it really helped me lots.
It definitely reflects in the adulthood, right? It helps.
Yeah.
Because you learn better time management.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think it's something that when you haven't learned when you are a kid, okay, of course you can always learn, but it's harder.
It's harder.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Considering that you were also focusing on studies and sport, did that mean that you had less time for other things that maybe girls or students your age enjoyed?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think me and everybody that has dedicated their life to sports, pursuing a dream, we have lost a lot of things of the regular ones, let's say, of birthday parties or hanging out with the friends or these things. But at the same time, we were building something with our team. Always, we were surrounded by people that understood us better. So I don't think I would say I lost some things. I just live some other ones,
Yes, we have to make those choices.
Yeah, exactly.
So, was there any specific moment from FIBA 3x3 European Championships that you remember very specifically?
Yeah, this is a very easy answer. So we have Spain. We have a very, very big rivalry in sports with France, because we are usually like tie, like kind of very, very good level, both of us. So, well, we were playing in Paris, just in front of the Eiffel Tower. Very emblematic. It was amazing. Like the Eiffel Tower was right behind the basket. And we played them in the semifinals, and France have been always in those prior years like so good. And it was like, now France at their home in the semifinals. That looks very rough for us to get the gold medal, but we were like, let's do it. Let's just win them now. Like, we have struggled a lot to beat them, but then we just did on those semifinals, and in front of all their public, in front of the Eiffel Tower, and we moved to the final. So then when we moved to the final, it was like, okay, now job's not done, but we knew that we were not gonna let that goal escape from our hands when we have just done that. And so that was a very, very amazing feeling, and the 4 teammates, we were like so connected and so focused on that same goal.
In your entire journey so far, was there a moment where you felt like maybe stopping or hanging your boots?
That's a good question. Not necessarily stopping, I would say. But yeah, there are some moments that you are like, well, I don't know if I'm good enough for this or that. And I was like, at the same time thinking, well, are you living the life that you could live if you could? And it's like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I wouldn't change this for anything in the world. So, of course, we have bad moments, especially more speaking about like mentally when you are just not like doing that well and you feel like you could perform better, this or that. So yeah, that gets in your head a lot. But I think that's something you can work on. But yeah, the possibility of having those problems while playing basketball, I think, yeah, I'll choose them 100 times, because I think those problems also happen in real life to everybody else.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a blessing that that happens because of basketball.
So what kept you going on?
Just the love for the game, you know, yeah. As I was saying, it was like I'd rather go through this while I play basketball than I go through this just having like another job or not having a job, or just because of a personal moment. Like, yeah, the game has always helped me to get through it, even when the game was the one like taking something from you. So yeah, it was always about the game.
And I'm very curious to know that is there a specific emotional moment that you remember from your journey, maybe a win or a loss that changed you?
It was emotional. At the end it's easy, you know, the 2 gold medals, and you pick those gold medals for emotional. It's true that every time I play away something important, like I play a cup or for winning the league or this or that, and my family comes to see me and then I lose, I just feel so disappointed. Like, I want to make them enjoy and to bring like joy to them and everything, and I'm like, oh, now we lost and my family made all these kilometers to watch me lose. So I don't know why, but it happens to me. I feel so terrible, and I'm like, just don't come to watch me when I don't feel like I'm gonna win. You know, they're like, we don't care if you're gonna win or not. We only want to see you and see you playing. And I'm like, yeah, I know, like, you're right, but I just feel like so emotional every time. Like, I don't want them to have a hard time, because they see that I'm having a hard time for losing, and then I'm like, I don't want to involve anybody else in this. So yeah.
And how are you with your emotions? Like, do you express in front of people, or you like to take your time alone?
Oh, well, I think on the basketball court, I show them, like, I'm competitive, so yeah, I don't hide them. I don't think I can. Like, maybe on the late years, as I'm more mature, maybe a little bit more, especially like the bad ones, the angry ones, you know. But then, yeah, I'm pretty, like, reserved, and I only open up when, like, I kind of really need it with certain people. Yeah, we see it, yeah.
So what keeps you hungry? What drives you to still get up and keep on doing what you're doing, to keep on training?
Well, just exactly this saying that I was saying, like, just keep making my journey better, because I think it can be. I think I can still get places. So yeah, I'm confident about I can just step up the game a little, so that makes me want to continue so far.
What's your next aim? Any specific goal that you're...
Well, we have a nice looking season coming for our private club in Girona. Yeah, I might be probably coming back to my like original position on the court, and that makes me very happy, because it's one that I like enjoy the most, and it's very challenging for me at the same time. So making a good job there and trying to lead the team from that position with things that you can maybe not count that much on the box score, you know, and trying to win a title in the Spanish league. That would be, yeah.
I wish you all the very best for that.
Well, thank you so much.
Earlier in the discussion, we spoke about the importance of time management, especially as you started very young as a child. So when we talk about athletes, again, sport teaches us so many things that we can use in our adulthood when we grow up. So if I had to ask you, like, what is one of the biggest quality or lesson that sport has taught you? Is there something?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the skill of just being able to adapt to anything, to every situation, like with the time you have, with this, with that, like you just have to adapt and try to get the goal and try to kind of like win the day, you know. So that's for sure something. And then like the perseverance, I think, yeah, like that was needed along the way, and I think that's needed in life. Well, there are so many things, you know, needed. I mean, it's taught me a lot, it's given me lots, and more than saying specific things, I think it just built me up the way I am. And yeah, I think I just would be a different person without the sports on my background. So I'm just very, very happy and very proud to say like the sports also built me this way.
Have you ever given this thing a thought that what would Marta without basketball look like?
Yeah, and I have no idea. I have no idea. I guess some Marta, some different. I don't know if better or worse, but for sure different. And yeah, just different stages of my life, on different timings and everything. I guess we will never know now.
We'll never
Yeah.
know. But if not a basketball player, what do you think, which kind of profession would you have been?
Yeah, I also cannot answer this question. I don't know. It's always been on my mind. Like, I have always loved sports so much that I haven't dreamt of being like a doctor, an astronaut, or something like that. You know, like I have been always like a very calm, with like very how to say, like just dreams that you could try to make. So there was a lot of things that I was even dreaming about because I thought they weren't like reachable or they were like too far in time. So it was just how the process went. And at some moment I was like, well, this is amazing. So I want to be this professional athlete, you know.
But you also manifested it in a way. I mean, if you were dreaming about becoming an athlete right since you were a childhood, I think that is also a factor which is important.
Yeah, I don't think when I was a child itself, I was thinking that I could have a life related to it. I was just like, well, I love to do this, so I'm going to keep doing it. And I kept doing it, and at one moment I was like, you've been doing this the whole life, like maybe you should start considering to make it your life, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's what will happen exactly.
So are you looking to pursue maybe coaching in the future?
Not sure. It's not what I love. I think it's extremely hard. I think, as you asked me at the beginning, if coaches had made a good impact on me, I think you really have to have something different to be a good one. And yeah, I don't see myself like ready at all, because I think you are very, very important in the career, in the life of the people you coach.
Right.
Just not as at the basketball career in this case, but just as as like
in
the
shaping
leader.
up how they become.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think you have that much importance and relevance, just like a teacher. For example, I really think that teachers really shape you up, especially at some age, you know, that you are just about to change. So yeah, I think it's just a big responsibility right now.
Right.
So I don't know. I will consider it in the future, because at the same time it's beautiful and it's related to the sport I love. But so far, not sure at all. Yeah.
Marta, we spoke about coaching and considering that in the future, but I believe there is also a very important aspect called as sports science that plays an important role in the ecosystem of an athlete. So when I'm talking about sports science, I'm talking about maybe nutritionists, sports psychologists, strength and conditioning coaches, even analyzing your game by using data analytics. So how have these things also played a role in your journey as a high-performance athlete?
Yeah, well, this is an amazing question, because actually it takes the most of our time as professional athletes. All of these other areas that you have said, at the end of the day, the basketball practice itself is like, I don't know, 2 hours a day maybe right now, because when we are competing, we don't really have that much time, you know, to put on the stress of the core job more than 2 hours a day. But then all the rest is just our like daily basis, like the nutrition, eating good. At the end, the proper nutrition is only going to benefit yourself. So you want to do it correctly to then get just like your body work fine and not get injured every day. Then like the physiotherapists, that work that they do for us, let's say, is also so important, because we have been putting our bodies to stress for long time now, years. So they are there to take care of us, and they do it daily, on a daily basis. And it's true, that's something that we also like need to take care about. We can do some little things, but yeah, mainly depends on somebody else to take care of you. Then the strength and conditioning, I think we have developed so much on this in the sports world. Because with more information, with more years, well, you see the bodies of the athletes now, and you see the bodies of the athletes like, I don't know, like 20 years ago.
Right.
It's not about the bodies, but it's like what you can do with that body. Like basketball, especially men, is super physical, is very spectacular. I don't think it was like that on the early years of basketball. So it's something that you also want to take care to perform to enhance your performance. Depends on one person that has the knowledge, and then on you wanting to do it and put in the work, and that's something that is not very pleasant, because usually on the lifting room you should suffer if you want like good results. So it's extremely important, and in my case, for example, it's been the most important area, I would say, in the last 5 years for my development, because I've had some injuries, not too bad, but they could have stopped me playing. But thanks to a good job on this, they have helped me not to not stop, but to be better.
Right.
Which is like sometimes I found people that I know for years, and they are like, "Oh, how are you? How's your knees? Like, are you still playing basketball?" And I'm like, "Yeah, and I'm better than ever. Like, I'm doing really better than ever with that knee pain, just for knowing more and working out better with the years." And then you were speaking also, for example, about like analyzing your game thanks to data. Like we have so much data nowadays. It's so easy to access to information about our game individually and as a team. And for example, the teams, they use it for the team like a lot. If you make this interview to a coach, maybe not a head coach, but an assistant coach, they will be like, yeah, we are with film, with tape, like all the time, with numbers, this and that. Like everything they do is just to give us like a good information, so we can make a better job at the end. And that's something that we can also do at home. And me personally, I do it. I have people that helps me with that. Also maybe because I'm very interested on this topic itself, and again, I think it only benefits you if you do it. So yeah, you speaking about this sports science side of the sport, I think is extremely important. And I think once you have reached a level, I think if you want to like be different, you gotta like really take care of that. And I think nowadays a lot of the professional athletes, if not all of them, they really do it. They are not there just because they have talent, but because they do take care of all of this in a daily basis.
Right. And what's your favorite form of recovery?
I think I would say, because it's a very easy one and it feels nice, is these recovery boots, the ones that they put pressure and release the pressure. Yeah, that feels nice. You can do it on the couch at home. You don't have to suffer like when you go in ice bath, you know. So yeah, I would say definitely that one.
Again, circling back to this topic, I think even when you progress to a high performance level, technique and I think the improvement lies in the small areas, right? So sports science or even data helps you identify these small things on which you can improve on. That makes a very big difference when we talk about athletes, because at a certain level, a lot of athletes are kind of the same when we talk about their performance on court or their skill levels. Yeah, so
and I think that you can really see when you see somebody inside maybe of the wall, maybe you cannot see it from outside. You can really see people who take care of, what were we saying, like maybe 4 or 5 sides of the sports science in this case, or people who only take care of some, like you can see it on their physicality, like how they recover, if they are able to play like 2 games in a row back to back, if after one game, like they have pain everywhere or not. If after a game they repeat the same mistakes because they haven't really like taken care about the film or the data that they have been proportioned like so much. So yeah, I think nowadays it's very easy because we have access to it. We just need to want to really like take care of it.
And how do you train your mind, especially if you're under pressure or maybe when things are not going your way?
Yeah, I wish I could tell you.
Okay.
I wish I could tell. No, like I could tell you the right answer, let's say, because yeah, when things don't go well, you don't really. I think you know the theory of what to do and how to try to get into that to overcome it, but it's hard. At the end, it's hard, and I think it's just like with everything else in life that yeah, you know the theory, but once it comes to you, it's like wow. And now what are we doing? If it's for a game, if it's like the pressure for a game, I kind of try to take that pressure off because at the end of the day, it's just a game. It's what we want, and those type of games is the ones that we also enjoy the most once we are on the court. But the previous moments and the preparation is it's like nervous and maybe sometimes you have this pressure. If it's about when you are having like a bad moment in the season, I think you actually need to just open up a little bit more and let the right people help you. This can be sports psychology, this can be your best friend, this can be one good teammate that you have. Like doesn't need to be, I think, somebody specifically. I think depending on the issue or how you are as a person, some people can help you differently. So yeah, well, that's more or less my route, let's say. Yeah.
And how would you say is in such moments especially, how would you say is your relationship with yourself? Do you give yourself a pep talk?
No, I think it's bad. I think it's actually bad. I think I usually tend to not give myself enough credit on the good and on the bad times, and on the bad times, like especially working on shooting form the other day, and it felt terrible. It felt terrible. It felt like I have never shot the ball before, you know. And then just 2 days later, they showed me a video of that practice, and I was like, oh, hey, that looks pretty good. And I was like, that was the practice that you were saying that you were shooting terrible. So yeah, I think we are usually like hard on ourselves, and when you see it from the outside, it feels different.
I do have another question for our audience here, especially the young audience, that early on in an athlete's life, sometimes due to a lack of structure, maybe lack of guidance or distractions, considering the youth today and the access they have to technology, they tend to drop off from the game or maybe get distracted. So what advice would you give to them to build discipline early on in the primitive years of their sport?
I think that it's more related maybe to, since we have nowadays that much of information that easily, I think we are usually now just changing to want things get done just like this, immediate, you know. So I think they see a video of Allen Iverson, as I was telling you I was watching before, and they are like, oh, I see it now, I can do it now, like, and then I cannot do it, and I just drop, I just quit. And it's like, no, you actually have the tools, thanks to internet especially, to build it up from scratch. So I think like if you, like the example I would give is like, if you really want to get that, you have to know that that takes ages probably and a lot of work. So if you want it, just put a lot of work on and be patient, and then one day you'll find yourself like doing the things that you dreamt of.
Yeah. Earlier you spoke about perseverance as one of the important or big lessons that sport has taught you. So again, referring back to the conversation that we were having, considering today's youth and today's time, a lot of young athletes or sometimes even parents want results fast. And if they don't get that, you know, if they're not winning, they tend to stop the game. So do you have any advice over there for them?
Yeah, again, like the same, like if you really want something, you have to learn that it just takes time to get the things done. Like you don't build a house in one day.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we see it on the social media that is done in 10 seconds of the video. But yeah, that's something that's the bad part, I think, of social media nowadays, that it just gives us the result as well as like the answers on Google or whatever, you know. So yeah, you just gotta understand that things take time, and of course a lot of work. So if you are willing to do that, to be patient and put all the work on, then it will come.
And what's something about professional basketball that fans do not understand, or maybe the common public, they don't see?
Probably maybe this that we were speaking about, the part of the sports science that is behind, and also maybe the side of that we also are people, normal people, that needs to have fun sometimes or needs to cry sometimes. So I feel like we are always seen only as athletes, and it's like, no, we are also people that they want to go out with friends one night a month or whenever, or that they just cry because they are having a bad day or this or that. And it's like, how can you have a bad day if you are a sports athlete? It's like, well, yes, I do. And I think sometimes like people kind of forget about that. And yeah, we go through that, and we wish maybe that we could like show it more openly. Yeah.
Right. So Marta, our next segment is something fun, and it's basically a rapid fire round. So I will ask you a question, and you have to answer it very quickly.
Okay.
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 So
I'm not very good at that. I'm already telling you.
So you can say whatever comes to your mind.
Amazing.
All right. So shall we begin?
Yes. Let's go.
Okay. So one word that describes you as a player.
Glue. That will make sense. I can explain it later.
Okay. One player you would love to team up with.
Nafisa Collier, WNBA player.
Okay. One player you would like to play against.
Against Kaylin Clark.
Pre-game superstition or ritual?
Not really. A good nap.
Okay. And favorite cheat meal?
Pizza. Yeah.
One song that's always on your pre-game playlist.
The one that is not always, but it's like the one very good, is Unstoppable by Sia.
Okay. One word to describe your on-court personality.
Fun or normal, I want to think.
Okay. And India in one word.
Busy.
Okay. Now I will ask you a sentence. Basically, I'll say a sentence, and you have to complete it for me. So the sentence is not complete.
Okay.
Before a big game, I always...
I'm nervous.
If I weren't a basketball player, I would be...
Nafisa Collier.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to ask you something which is called this or that.
Okay.
And you have to select one.
All right.
So early morning practice or late night match.
Early morning practice.
Offense or defense.
Offense.
Watch a movie or read a book.
Read a book. Movies are too long for me.
3x3 format or 5x5.
3-on-3.
Okay. And train kids or train elite athletes.
Sorry, kids train elite athletes.
Okay. All right. So we spoke about your journey in the early stages of basketball, and from there now we'll transition to the European champion, becoming a European champion. So let's talk about your evolution as a player. And in 2015, you won the Under-20 European Championships. What was that experience like?
Well, that was a very beautiful moment, because Under-20 is the last chance that we have to play for our national team before going with the senior team. So it's the last youth team, let's say.
Right.
And this exists since I think under 14, so it goes from under 14-ish until under 20. And I have never been before selected in those prior years. It was very beautiful to be selected then, because I saw that there was a moment that when you are young, maybe the talent is what it matters the most, or what it shows up the most. But then when you are 20, you are transitioning, in this case, to a woman, to be a real player. You are not a youth player anymore. So it was nice to see that, okay, hey, like, I also do have some talent, but I think I've made it here because of all the job I've put these years, and because I haven't stopped working even when I was being said no to all those prior national teams. So yeah, getting into the very, very last one, the last chance, and I think the most beautiful one, because it's like the step of the transition until the senior team. It was I don't know, like very, very, very good, and I could say I felt proud of myself for making it there. And then, well, of course, it was not only about like being there, but then we won. Spain has always been well known in Europe for being amazing at these youth championships. And well, my team of my generation have been winning a lot in the prior years, and it was like, okay, there is no way they are gonna take this gold medal from us now when it's like the very last chance. So yeah, we went all the way, and we did it at home. Actually, we played in Spain, in the Canary Islands, and yeah, my family was there, so it was very beautiful.
So that's a very strong mentality to play with, and considering that you mentioned that was kind of your last chance to also make it into the national team, then I believe there were some benchmarks set by the teams that were there previously. So do you remember if any pressure, mental pressure back then, that you have to, it's kind of make it or break it types?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have that type of pressure, because as I was telling you, I have never been there before, but I was nervous. I was absolutely nervous because I wanted it so bad. First I went there just thinking that I was going there for practicing, so that was like kind of fine. But then I saw I was doing well. They started to give me like good feedback, like, hey, keep working because you might get a shot here. So then, yeah, I started to get very nervous, like, oh my God, like, this is real, like, this is what I have always wanted, and now it can happen, and now it's supposed that it's depending on you, because they are telling you. So, yeah, it was not pressure, but it was the nerves of not wanting to mess it up at the very end. And well, apparently I handled them, and I made it.
So, from 2015 to 2021, you dominated the FIBA 3 into 3 European Championships. So what was your training schedule? What did your training routine look like back then?
Oh, well, it was kind of similar to what we were speaking about before, because a lot of those years I was still, instead of studying, I was working for 3 years. So it was kind of a similar type of schedule, and everything that was out of the job schedule in that case, or the study one in college, it was dedicated like fully to basketball as many times as I could, as much time as I could. And yes, like thoroughly as it could be. There were like no days off, basically, because the playing like got way more serious. So, well, maybe like 1 day off each or something like that. But yeah, it was like way more busy, but I was enjoying it also way better because the level was higher, and well, it was some hard times, but then I transitioned at some moment to just dedicating professionally, and that was like, that changed completely. It was very nice, because I have been working like so much, like in the 24 hours that the day had, like to go and try to cover everything, and then when I was like, wow, now it's only basketball for you, I was like, I felt so blessed, and that was great. And then, yeah, like, sorry, you were talking to me about the 3x3, and I kind of like moved from there. The 3x3 came like a little later, no, on those years that you were saying, and that was also great, because then when I thought, okay, under 20 is done, then now to make it to the senior national team is extremely hard in Spain. Like there is a very, very good level. Then it happened that, hey, we are 3x3 also. We are a national team and we're here and we won. And it was like, wow, really? Why? And I started playing there, and it was amazing. Like I found this passion for the game immediately. 3x3 is so much fun, and so yeah, I started to be on the dynamic of the 3x3 senior national team, and that was an amazing journey that ended up with this gold medal also in 2021 in Paris, and yeah, that was like more than I could dream of, because I honestly haven't imagined getting to that someday. So yeah.
Now we are heading into the last segment of our discussion with Marta, and so please take notes. And so Marta, I would like to know, what advice would you like to give young players who want to pursue basketball seriously?
I would say just put a good work in for everything, not for basketball only, but I think the more work you put in things, the more chances you have to get it. In this case, I've seen that basketball was not only about talent, and I've seen it like myself that with a good work, it got me some places I thought I maybe was not gonna reach. So yeah, just trust the process and keep working.
Okay. And do international players from different countries come to Spain to play basketball? What kind of opportunities exist there for the youth players?
Well, I think that the basketball in Spain is super rich. We have a lot of knowledge, especially on the coaches side. Then we have the part of the talent, and then now I think this part of the sports science that involves basketball is also growing, and it's really good. So I think you really have a lot of chances to put the right people together to work with and to help you get where you want to get. Plus, the chance of doing it in an amazing environment. I think Spain is so great. As a country, you have a lot of different places. You have the cities, you have the towns more close to the sea that are so beautiful if you like that, no? So I think it's a very rich country, culturally and basketball-wise.
Mm-hmm. And earlier in our discussion, we also spoke about how how the sports has been developing over a period of time. Even choosing sport as a career is getting better in India as well as abroad. So a lot of parents sometimes might be hesitant to choose sport as a career for their child. Is there any advice that you would like to give to these parents?
Well, from my experience, I would say you can, at the end of the day, you cannot make your child just choose what you want for them. I think you kind of have to direct them on how to do the things, how to build a good life. But then at the end of the day, they gotta do what they make them happy, because if not, it's very hard to succeed in anything if you don't really like it. So in this case, if they can just give them their kids the tools, everything they can use for trying to be better, at the same time that they, of course, don't forget about the studies. And at some moment, they will end up needing to choose and to see which side is more worth it for them. So yeah, just basically be supportive parents as they can, and this way I think one day the kid will be able to choose wisely.
Okay. And from your perspective as an athlete, and for the coaches who are going to be watching this video, is there anything that you feel they should prioritize on when they are shaping up or training young athletes?
I think it's very hard to be a coach, because especially on these early stages, I think you are more like a mentor than just a coach. I think it's easier actually sports elite coach, but it's hard to be a kids coach, because you really have a big impact on their life. So I think they shouldn't forget about this part, the coaches, when they are working with kids. Okay, it's amazing that you want them to do like 500 crossovers, 500 shots a day and everything, but don't forget that you are just like also shaping up a personality, and that a lot of what's going to happen in the future is going to come, especially of how you communicate to this kid and how you make him or her get the things, you know, like how you make them work on what they want.
So I think the coaches also play a very important role in developing the love for that game by based on how they shape up their training routines also, or their interactions with the children.
I mean, there are some, I think they love either you have it or not, but I also think the wrong coaches maybe can kill your love. Sometimes, all this happens in Europe, that sometimes you can find like very, very tough coaches on early stages, and I don't say it's bad, tough type of coach, but yeah, you gotta be careful on how you do it, because you don't want the kids quitting. You want them to try to aim for the best.
All right. And if a young player looks up to you today and says that, hey, I want to be a captain like you, what advice would you give them?
I think everything goes like related. I think to be a captain of a team, you need to be one of the ones that work the hardest, because you want to be a leader on those terms. You don't want to be a boss. Boss is the one who rules. Leader is the ones who say like, hey, this is the way, follow me, and the way is like working hard. And you also need to like relationships, because as I was telling you, you are 12 players on a team, and everybody is different and has their own things, better or worse, and you gotta understand them and respect them. So yeah, you have to, I think, like work and like relationships.
Right. So finally, Marta, one line for our viewers in Hindi.
Namaste India, aapse milke acha laga.
That was incredible. So, Marta, thank you so much for joining us on the Game Changer series. It was amazing to listen to your journey, and we wish you all the success ahead. We hope that your story inspires many more young athletes, not just in India, but even outside.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was amazing sharing this time with you, amazing questions, and hopefully somebody will take just that little good part that we were speaking about from this interview.
Yes, definitely.